y'all in.
That's good.
You see that fish board? Go slide it back a little bit.
The what?
Mm-hmm.
The bag?
The
The what?
Okay, then zoom in the hair on the camera. Catching your
The bench?
Yep. I haven't got it up yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Can you get this up? Can you get that up? Ready, guys?
Whenever.
Well, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Little Friday edition of Under the Lights District Previews. Another week. This week we talk 3A football as we will break down 5 districts in the state of Louisiana that represent District 3A. We will talk 6 3A, 3 3A, 2 3A, 5 3A, and 4 3A. Reason we don't do all the districts is because we're just not comfortable talking about those districts just yet. We have to get eyeballs on the teams, and we will get eyeballs on the teams starting next week because scrimmages will be here next week. Excitement is in the air.
You're right.
And then jamborees follow. And then week 1, knocking on the doorsteps. Can't wait till we finally back in routine. And it's a Wednesday night, live at 8:30 here from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts Building in Opelousas. This is going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget our Week 0 show coming up. We will do a predictions. Who's going to win those district titles? Who do we put in the state title games? And who's going to win it all? Can't wait for that show, Week 0. Don't miss it. Wednesday, the week of the jamborees. I don't know the dates, so I'm bad at that type of stuff.
It'd be the 27th.
So the 27th, Week 0, that's going to be a show you're going to want to tune in for. And then Week 1, we start our game picks. Be here before we know it, but we have 3 more districts to preview. 3A, 4A, 5A. 3A this week. Next week we tackle the big boys. 4A, 5A in the same day. So you're going to want to tune in for that one also as we give what we know and get you excited for some high school football. I know these 2 guys right here beside me are excited for high school football because their respected teams are going to be playing scrimmage football next week. So we'll get an outlook there, see what's happening, and then jamboree time the following week. I announced to our Facebook platform that we will be covering the Acadia Vermilion Parish Jamboree on a Thursday night at Crawley High School. So that will be North Vermilion versus Eunice, and it will be Crawley versus Abbeville live on Under the Lights. Can't wait to get down to Crawley on a Thursday night to cover that jamboree. And then the Friday we will cover the St. Landry Parish Jamboree. It will be Eunice's JV will be playing Beauchamp. It will be Opelousas versus Northwest, and then it will be Port Barry versus North Central. You can catch all games live on Under the Lights. Can't wait, Gary. First time we get the opportunity to cover St. Landry Parish Jamboree as we go into 7 years as a platform. Surprising, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's the first time we get a chance to do that, and hey, I can't wait.
Can't wait indeed. Football's here. Let's get ready for 3A football as we preview the districts, give you what we know. If you know something, let us know in the chat. We would love to hear from you and see who you're rooting for this year. But before we go any further, 4 guys on the panel tonight. Let's introduce them. Starting from my far right. Welcome back. Another week.
Another week, man. My name's Chris Esprit.
Gary Swallow.
Alex Fontenot.
Yep, and we got. Usually I sit here for a while.
And that's him.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to talking some 3A football with you guys. Thank you for always being able to. If you know something, look, is that Gary?
No, that ain't mine.
That's you. Thank y'all for always adapting on the fly. So that's pretty cool that we can schedule something a couple hours ago and say, can you make it? And I have 3 guys right here that join me tonight. So thank y'all for sitting with me.
No problem.
3A football, you know there's teams that go and represent Division 2. You know there's teams that go represent Division 3. Give me your outlook on 3A football, Chris.
Competitive.
And it's tough that they go in opposite directions.
Yeah.
Competitive. A lot of those teams, especially the ones that move up, it shows that they're being battle tested in their districts, and they go far in the playoffs in Division 2. And especially with the ones that go down, they do fairly well themselves.
Gary, 3A football, my friend, a lot of these teams that we will talk about today could be competing for more than a district title.
Oh, most definitely. They got a lot of talent in the teams that we're going to be talking about. They can well make a run for the Dome. Very easily. It's going to be very interesting, but like you said earlier, they got some that go this way and some that go that way. To me, that's the toughest thing right there. But yeah, I can't wait to see what some of these teams are going to do.
Alex, there's teams that we will talk about today that they have chips on their shoulder. We got teams that we will talk about today where that district may come down to the final week. We got teams that we will talk about today that may take a step back this season from what we're accustomed to. So could be a big-time show today.
Yeah, for sure. And, 3A, in my opinion, might be one of the most competitive classes out of all of them. Not only because, some 3As go up and play with 4As and they can still win those games in the playoffs, but it's not top-heavy. From the bottom numbers of 3As all the way to the top, those guys can compete with a lot of teams across the state in any classification. So, for me, 3A is one of the most competitive, well-rounded classifications that we have in the state.
Right.
Okay. We did the fan vote again. I think people are really enjoying the fan vote because one set of, it shows you where our fans are in the state of Louisiana. One set of fan votes for a district was 50 votes. Not bad, right? Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got some crazy ones out there, Chris. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the crazy one. 750. Beat them by 700 votes. So you got one district that was only 50 votes, and you got another district that has 750 big ones. You think they like their high school football?
Oh yeah.
They support their teams.
And it's like when I'm talking to these coaches and I ask them about small victories. Well, these fans want to win at everything that you have. If there's a who's the best tailgating spot, they want to win at that. If this is a thing where who's the best group that's going to pull the chains that night, they want to win at that. So there's fan bases out there that want to win at everything that their program has to offer, and it shows right here the amount of support you see from these fans.
Yeah, support.
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of these programs in 3A that just overwhelming, like the fans show up.
I know last year when we went to a playoff game, Jennings, that's one of those schools that has to play up. Mm-hmm. So their fan base, man, it was packed. When we got there, they tailgating, our fans tailgating in Jennings. The crowd, that's a 3A school. That's all they have in their little community. Then I look at Northwest, their fan base, they support. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you have a base school here in Opelousas High, but you also have Northwest High. We both share the same city. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get their support either way, whoever's not playing that night. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but just off of what I saw last year, Jennings was a pretty good turnout out there, and Bunkie too. From what I hear, I haven't been to a Bunkie game yet, but they support their town and their school too at the same thing.
Nothing like the Grove, man.
Gary, talk to me about some of these, because as a platform, we don't do much 5A. We don't do many of those games, but when we do, we're appreciative of it.
Right.
But you know, from that 1A to 3A realm, we have done a lot of games in that 1A to 3A realm, and 3A, some of these fan bases we've experienced.
Oh, we've gone to some of these schools, and I kid you not. I mean, it's just amazing to see how these fans are there for their schools. They're always supporting. They're like y'all said, between tailgating and everything, but not just that, but whether they win or lose, they're cooking for the kids. They feed them before the game. They feed them after the game. They take care of them.
During the week.
They're all during the week. They make sure that they're doing right. That's what this classification, the 1A, 2A, but 3A is like they're right before the big dogs, if you can understand what I mean by that. And I don't mean no disrespect to anybody there, because I think everybody in here is a big dog, because you're doing what you got to do. But man, to me, 3A is the pinnacle of just showing your support and everything like that. Because I mean, like I said, like we were talking about, you never been to Bunkie or whatever. The Grove is awesome. You seeing what they do. They treat people with respect. It's just amazing to see how strong the support is for this classification. It really is.
Alex?
Yeah, so with 3A, to me, it's still your small enough towns to pull a town together or pull a community together, but you have a lot of numbers because those schools pull from a lot of area. So you have small town feel with big numbers.
Correct.
So it's community, but you have a lot of people there, and it's fun to see. You show up to certain places in 3A 2-3 hours before a game, and they surround the buses when you pull into the parking lot as an away team, and it's a good time, and seeing all these schools and going play them is fun. So like I said, you get that community aspect, but with bigger numbers.
When we talk about some of the districts that we will speak on today, your opinion of the 5, which one is the most competitive?
Oh. Just from looking at it.
And we don't have all 10 in front of us, but we're just going to talk about the 5. Which one do you think is the most competitive?
I think out of the 4-3A and a 3-3A, the Northwest Church Point, Iota Mamu, Crowley Pine, and Ville Platte. But then I go look at the Jennings, Lake Charles Prep, Westlake, Southborough, and St. Louis. I mean, each week they got to play a game. They got to play someone. You look at the other district, you got Pine on the tail end and Ville Platte. Really, not too much going on there. But I think the 3-3A districts to me.
It would be this one right here to our left?
Yeah,
okay.
pretty much.
Gary, your thoughts?
I agree pretty much. I think when you look at the districts, you have your I call it your teams that's going to be at the top all the time. But like you said, the 3-3A district, I think is probably a little bit more competitive. But that 4-3A district, they still have some studs in there, and hopefully Pine and Ville Platte will be better.
Right.
But you look at the top, it's still there. But I think those two are probably the most competitive.
Yeah, for me, I don't think anybody said it yet, but 5-3A. It's a 4-team district,
Yeah,
but any of those teams can win it. I mean, St. Martinville's coming up. Kaplan, Abbeville, Erath have been consistent for a long time. 5-3A for me, even though it's a small district, is probably the most competitive. 3-3A is a close second for me.
Okay. What stands out to you about 6-3A, Chris? Give me your initial thoughts before we even touch on these districts. You got the teams in front of you. I will announce them for the fans at home real quick. Helix, Mentorship, Academy, Collegiate, Baton Rouge, Glen Oaks, Port Allen, Parkview Baptist, Madison Prep, University Lab. Initial thoughts when you look at this district?
It's a 3-man race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those 3 teams, they can't. I mean, ULab, Madison Prep, and Parkview Baptist. It's, you know.
Who's gonna be the last one standing?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, so other than that, that's all I can say about that district.
Gary, you got some heavy hitters.
Yeah, you got you got ULab, you got Madison, you know, Parkview Baptist. Not sure how Port Allen's gonna be, but I mean, you got those 3 right there that are gonna be they're gonna be rocking and rolling on that. They're gonna be basically those 3 right there from the past history. They're the teams to beat. Then you got Port Allen that's coming in there. They've made some progress over the years. Are they going to be consistent and be even better than last year? You know, on that. So that's going to be a dogfight. But you know, yeah, when you got Madison Prep and ULab, you know, in there, and then Parkview Baptist coming in, that's going to be really, really hard to get to the top.
Yeah, it's a big district, and it's almost like you have 2 districts in one, because
Right.
you have the top 3 guys that are trying to get that first place, and then you have the bottom half who's just trying to get enough games in a strong district to make the playoffs.
Correct.
So for me, it's almost like 2 districts in one, but you have some really good teams at the top that can make deep season runs.
3A. Give me your initial thoughts, my friend. Jennings, Lake Charles College Prep, Westlake, South Bow, St. Louis. What stands out about this district? You spoke on a little bit a while ago, but what is the thing that is in your head right now?
Consistency. Man, Lake Charles Prep been chopping young team the past 2 seasons, and they you know, expect the same from these kids, and they got athletes. I think it's a 2-man race in this district with them and Jennings. Jennings, we played them last year in the playoffs in the second round. I want to say second round.
I think so.
They didn't lose much this year, but consistency. They stick with the script. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna play sound defense. You know.
Right.
Besides that, I think it's just a 2-man race in that district there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, but you know, I want to see where, you know, I think Jennings and Lake Charles Prep are probably the top 2, but I want to see where St. Louis is going to be. You know, are they going to be able to improve? You know, South Bow, Westlake, you know, they have the opportunity to basically grow and get better, but like you said, Lake Charles College Prep is there every year. They're always consistent and everything. And Jennings is flexing their muscles, and like you said, they didn't really lose much.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting there.
With Preps out of district schedule is tough.
Right.
They got Westgate. They got Opelousas, Capital New Iberia.
Did they play Barb too?
Yeah.
Barb.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not shying away from competition.
Oh no, they going for it.
I can't think of their other one. Thoughts on this district here?
Yeah, so I like this district. Like Chris said,
And it makes for some great debates on Wednesday nights.
It does.
Whenever they meet up.
it does. Like Chris said, it's a very consistent district. You know, you have 3 to 4 teams every year that's really good. We know Jennings, we know Lake Charles Prep, but Westlake's going to surprise some people this year. They have been very young and still competitive.
How many close games they were in last year?
A lot. And like I said, they were mostly sophomores last year. So when you have a competitive sophomore or a competitive team that's mainly sophomores, and you go into that junior year,
Experience.
you have to keep an eye out on them. And then, you know, South Bow's always one of those teams that's going to, you know, you have to pack your lunch pail when you go play those guys because they're gonna take it to you.
That offense can give anyone fits.
Absolutely.
And then you better bring it.
And St. Louis, I mean, we saw a few years ago that they were one of the teams to beat, and then
Actually
had a
won the district
big,
one year.
big senior class, took a step back. So let's see what they're building this year. This could end up being the toughest district in 3A, depending on how a couple of those teams shake out.
Right.
2-3A, my friend. This is Bunkie, Gina, Marksville, Buckeye, Caldwell Parish, Vidalia. When you think about this district, I know you never laid eyes on them game-wise, but we talk about them plenty on the Wednesday night. Your thoughts?
I watched them on the huddle, but I still think is their district to win is Bunkie. Gina is right there with them. You know, Marksville can make a strong push. But I think it's just between Gina and Bunkie. You know, the rest of the teams are just competing, trying to get to the playoffs. But to win a district title, I think it's between Gina and Bunkie.
Mr. Swallow, when you look at this district, your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Bunkie is always going to be in my eyes, in my head. They're going to probably always be at the top. But what did they lose last year, and can they replace some key pieces that they're not going to have this year? Gina's been. We've watched. They've been consistent for a long time. They got a good group coming up. Marksville's getting better. Buckeye, Caldwell Parish, Vidalia. How good are these other teams that have been striving to get to the top? Because Bunkie's been dominating.
Mm-hmm.
Bunkie's been dominating, but these other teams have been building and building. So now that Bunkie, is probably, I don't want to say that they're down, but they've lost some people.
You got two teams out of this district that played in the semifinals a year ago.
Correct. So, I mean, you look at that and you say, well, where are they going to be? I'll be honest with you. I think it could be Gina and Bunkie again.
And I got some information for you that will help you better understand.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so a lot of people think this is top heavy, top two teams, Bunkie and Gina, but Marksville's always competitive, and Buckeye just always finds a spot in the playoffs.
Correct.
Even though it might be one of the last seeds, they just always seem to get there. So can Buckeye
not a team to overlook.
Take that step and maybe improve their seeding? Because this district's good enough, and the way they schedule is good enough to get them in the playoffs every year. So can they make that jump to get a higher seed and maybe make another round or make a quarter just because they found a good seed? This turns into a pretty competitive district, because you have four teams that are going to play good ball week in and week out. Mm-hmm. How does that ball bounce? That's yet to be determined.
Yeah. 5-3A. Erath, Abbeville, Kaplan, St. Martinville. Here we go.
So, the improvement of Abbeville.
Yeah.
I'm
very curious to see.
Yes.
Because
Coach Zenon, he is a.
You don't see 0-10 anywhere near their future ever again.
No, not with the with the mentality that Coach Zenon has.
Mm-hmm.
I know him real well, and I don't see it like you said. Will they win the district? But Kaplan just had this mishap a week ago. They fired the coach. Mm-hmm. So
where are their heads right now?
Right. So, it's still early in the season.
This district so far, since the three we just named, has the biggest storylines that are starting to get created.
Right. Because St. Martinville, Coach Derwin stepped down midsummer, I want to say, at the end of the year. So, it can go either way. But if I was a betting man, I like Abbeville. I like what they bring to the table. Discipline goes a long way with athletes, and those kids have a chip on their shoulder, because a lot of those kids left the program and went to other school in the city and this and that. It's all kind of stuff. But with Coach Zena and Coach Fuse, on the offensive side of the ball, Abbeville gonna make some noise.
Mr. Swallow, only 4 teams here, not your traditional district.
Correct.
But very competitive.
Well, my opinion is, and I'm going to tell you, how will, and you talked about it earlier, how will St. Martinville react to, their coach stepping down? How will Kaplan react to a new coach coming in, on short notice? Abbeville, they went through a rough spell last year. That's not normal for Abbeville. Abbeville is gonna, or how are they gonna come back? Years ago, I went to when I was in school. Now that was a long time ago for y'all guys, but we went to a school to play them, and this team was winning, and they had 1 year that they just didn't do so good, and it just said faced reality. And I think that's what Abbeville did last year. I think Abbeville faced reality that, hey, they got to work. And I think this coach and staff is going to get them ready. But then you have ERAT. You better watch it. I think anybody in this district, depending on how their kids react to adversity and how they react to a bad year, I think anybody can take it. I think it's wide open. That's my opinion.
Alex?
Fill me in. St. Martinville's coach that was here all summer stepped down? Or is that the year
Coach
before?
The coach you saw all summer is the one that took over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
That's going to make my point.
He come from Lafayette. Huh?
Yeah, all right. That's what y'all threw me off there. Had
This
my wheels
was
turned.
earlier in the
Yeah,
summer.
Correct.
the one that was there for many, many years.
Correct.
Good one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a historically rich district. You have great programs, St. Martinville, Kaplan, Abbeville, ERAT, that play good ball every year. And some years they might just be down, coaching change, young team, whatever. But
They swap coaches.
always good programs.
Pretty much.
My sleeper is St. Martinville. I'm telling you, whenever you have the athletes that they have and run the system that they're running and have the buy-in, if they stay injury-free, they could really shake things up in
So
this
on
district over
Wednesday
the last
nights,
couple of years.
all we're going to hear Alex say, DeVille.
It's very possible.
It's
We'll go week by week, but it's
Yeah.
very possible. It's much improved from what we've seen
Right.
over the last few years. Kaplan, we don't know. They made a great run last year, started off slow, and then made a great run. Abbeville's coming back up, and ERAT's been ERAT for a while. So this is going to be an exciting district. And one thing to look at with it being a small district, how are these teams health-wise getting into district? Because they have to play a lot of non-district games. So it's going to be interesting to see how this starts
They only gonna
in
have 3
week
district
6,
games.
week 7,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
seven?
Yeah.
7 weeks of non-district.
8
Yeah.
or 8.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
They have 3 district games, so.
that's it.
what you got, Jordan?
I'm gonna give you all 5 districts as soon as I get y'all's.
Okay.
4-3-A. Northwest, Iota, Church Point, Mamou, Crowley, Pine Prairie, Ville Platte. What stands out about this district that we see a lot throughout the season?
I'm eager to see year 2 with Coach Lamb and Mamou. I know what he brings to the table, the energy, the discipline, the sense of urgency. Will it be enough to compete against Northwest, Church Point, Iota? At the end of the day, Northwest is the top of the district, no matter how you look at it. With the athletes that Coach Edwards have over there, year in and year out, he's going to figure out a way to get where he needs to be at, to be competing and to get into that playoff as a district champ and a higher seed. I think it's Northwest, Church Point, Iota. They play up. And-
Church Point plays down.
Church Point, actually.
Okay.
Church
they
Point and
play-
Mamou play down.
Yeah.
Northwest and Iota play in the same
Right.
non-division.
So those guys know what they're going. They got to compete with. You want to say the bigger schools on in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, if you handle your business in this district and you do what you got to do, you're gonna be battle tested once the playoffs come.
Garrett?
I agree. I think when you're looking at this district, you got I call it your top 3 is basically Northwest, Church Point, and Iota. And then you got
It's been like that for a long time.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while. And then you got Mamou, who's rattling some cages. I think Mamou's going to be probably one of the most improved teams in this district. And then you got Crowley, that at one point was actually making strides, and then they had some issues. Pine Prairie, and then Ville Platte. You're looking at, like Alex said almost a while ago, he says you're looking at 2 districts. You got the top district and then the bottom district. I think honestly, Northwest, Church Point, Iota, and Mamu is going to make a run up top, and then you're going to have Crowley, Pine Prairie, and Ville Platte going to see who's going to come up after that. But the key is, like everybody says, stay healthy and just keep focused on what the prize is. That's what I think.
Week 6 is district season. Right?
Yeah, correct.
So I mean,
Week 5.
Week 5 actually. Week 5
yeah,
for
week 5
this group.
is district. So
And I think every one of these teams get a bye somewhere where they have to fill a game in, huh?
I'm not sure.
I don't think
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
we have 4 non-district games.
Because there's 7 teams, I think everyone has to fill in a non-district game somewhere along the line, huh?
Oh, to where you mean in the middle of the district?
in the middle of the district. Am I
Yeah,
tripping?
Yeah.
Well,
They
some
have-
teams do. In
Well,
terms of us,
well,
we our first 4 weeks are non-district. Like Iota, they play Westlake week 7, I believe.
that's probably what.
So
Yeah,
it just
that's
depends
how it
on
works,
how your schedule falls. You can get them all on the front end, or you can throw a
Well,
non-district game.
that's mostly when you go to those meetings, the district meetings. You're like, I want my first 4 games.
Lamb said
Yeah.
they get a bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not to say the bye, but like a non-district
A
I
non-district
game.
think
game.
theirs is
Yeah.
Basile, I believe.
That's
It
week
might
2.
be. I'm not
Maybe
sure. But when you have I call it a break in between district, where you have like 2 or 3 district games and you have a non-district, and then that's almost like, okay, we got to get healthy. Let's try to do this.
That's a yes and no.
Depending on where you're at as far as PowerPoints. All that stuff.
Well, not so much of that. You just want to stay in a rhythm.
Consistent, right? Yeah.
And sometimes you might not find somebody that has an opening that late in the
Correct,
season,
yeah.
except one of these big powerhouses.
Right.
So you play who you can find
Yeah.
at that point.
You get what you get.
Open week, Abbeville week 6.
Abbeville week 6. That's
Week
it.
6, Abbeville.
Sir?
Yeah, interesting district. This is the district that I coach in. Obviously, we have Pine and Ville Platte that's getting things together, figuring it out. Ville Platte is loaded with athletes and just trying to get that buy-in, trying to get their system rolling, consistency. Crowley is one of those schools. Year to year, you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes they're going to shock you and be, really, really good. Sometimes, like, man, I don't understand how they're not winning. And I think a lot of that comes with consistency. Iota is one of those teams that has been at the top. How are they going to adjust to losing big senior classes over the last couple of years? Mamu is the program that's coming up. Good athletes, good coaching staff, and it's just going to depend on if they stay healthy and how they put it together in year 2. Church Point, going to surprise a lot of people. Very young last year, a lot of sophomores. Now it's juniors. So the next 2 years, Church Point is going to be an issue. And then Northwest has been, pretty consistent over the last 10 years, give or take a year. It's just about keeping it rolling, keeping the culture, the structure, and playing week to week, and let's see what happens.
Right.
That's it. How about we go to fan votes? So we do give the fans an option to vote on who they think wins the district. We start with 6-3-8. Just something for the fans to have fun and get online and interact, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Who they think they're going to win the district? Where's our fans watching from around the state? And 6-3-8, we had 50 total votes. 41 of them went to University Lab. That's who the fan vote thinks is going to win that district. A lot of people may agree with them. Y'all might be 3 of the 50.
Yeah.
But we'll see week 0
Yeah.
what happens. Fan vote for 3-3-8. Fan vote went to Lake Charles College Prep. They think they're going to win the district. 252 total votes, and 157 of them went to Lake Charles College Prep.
Wow.
A lot of people showed up and supported Prep.
Yeah.
Moving along, we go 2-3-A. Fan vote Bunkie. You talk about get behind your program. Well, here you go. 750 total votes. 373 of them went to Bunkie.
That sounds like monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Maybe the whole school.
that's pretty much it.
5-3A. Fan vote went to ERAF. 236 total votes. 165 of them came from ERAF. 4-3A. Fan vote went to Mamu. 445 total votes. 154 of them came from Mamu. It was decided by 20 votes. That's how close it was between first and second in the fan votes.
Wow.
That district look like it's gonna be full of support.
Yeah, they got support all the way across.
So that is the fan vote. Now, before we dive into these districts, I'm gonna give you my thoughts, if that's cool.
Go ahead.
6-3A. When we talk about this district, it is the big three.
Most definitely.
It's Parkview Baptist, it's Madison Prep, it's University Lab. Here's what I have to say about University Lab. A chip is on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about that. They're pissed off.
Yeah.
And they want it all this year. They got Division I commits all over campus, and that will be on that field, and it's theirs to lose. And I'm not just talking about a district title. I'm talking about the big
The
prize.
big prize, yeah.
So it's theirs to lose, and you got a pissed off bunch over there.
As they should be.
Madison Prep, loaded with talent. A semifinal team a year ago on the doorsteps of the Dome. Madison Prep, I see right back in contention of making a deep run. And if anyone's going to give University Lab a game, it could be them.
Right.
And then Parkview Baptist, a school full of tradition. A new coach comes into this year. He's an alum of the school. Don't count them out, is what I would say about Parkview Baptist. Because of the tradition, because of new leadership at the helm, and he's an alum. So he's walked those grounds. He's played on the same field.
Pride.
The pride is there. Don't count out Parkview Baptist, is what I would say about this 3-team race. This is going to be some fun games here, fellas. That's what I could say about those. Y'all agree, disagree?
Agree.
I pretty much agree, yeah.
Okay. Here's my thoughts on 3-3A. St. Louis, brand new head football coach, so to be determined what will year one under his tutelage look like for Coach Chris Truex. I said that name right?
Truex.
Truex.
Question.
Yes.
So this is the second year,
Second year, brand new coach.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. So what will year one look like under Chris Truex? That's what my question is for St. Louis. You made the quick jump. You made the quick decision to make a change. So you could tell the athletic department is serious about their football, right?
Right.
Right.
South Beauregard. Here's my question marks. Who's returning? The talented quarterback a year ago exits out the building. Who is next in line? And this up-tempo offense, will we see it again this year? Because it does give people fits. But this district was ready for it. So what will another year in the system look like? So that's my question marks on South Bow. Westlake played in a lot of close games last year. I think their 9-district slate will be huge for them. They need momentum going into this district. If they got momentum and they're riding hot on some big wins, don't count out John Richardson's Westlake Rams to go and maybe take a game or two in this district and be in the fold here late. Lake Charles College Prep, here's my thoughts, Gary. A ton of talent returns.
Yes.
And you got a confident quarterback stepping in for another year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Started as a freshman,
Excuse me.
Lake Charles College Prep.
The quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started as a freshman last year. You got a confident sophomore coming back because he was thrown to the fire last year and he responded really well. and now you got all that talent around him coming back. Lake Charles College Prep could be in the same position they were back in 2020 whenever they were on the doorsteps of the Superdome, which in that case, Natchitoches.
Yeah.
Jennings, tough, hard-nosed kids that will run through a brick wall. Not much depth this year, I hear, though, so staying healthy will be important for the Dogs moving forward. They have a tough 9-district slate, and these battles in district aren't any easier. But if Jennings can stay healthy, they could be very well standing tall at the very end of it.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on 3-3A. Agree, disagree, any thoughts?
You hit it.
Yeah.
You hit it pretty close. You know, you got.
think-
I think Prep's going to have more depth than Jennings will, but I mean, like you said, can they stay healthy? That's the most important thing.
Depth and experience.
Yeah. All right, 2-3A. Here's my thoughts on this one. Vidalia and Caldwell Parish, to be determined. I don't have much there. I have to see them play first, so I don't want to just give false information here and just shooting from the bull whenever it would not be right for the schools. Okay.
Correct.
So let's talk about the Big Four then. Year 2 for Buckeye under this head coach. So what will year 2 look like for Aaron York? Aaron York had his guys in year 1 competing and in the playoffs. What will year 2, what will that step look like? I'm very intrigued in Buckeye this year.
Right.
Marksville, you got key guys returning that will help this team compete early and compete late into the season. Expect big things from the offense. Marksville's issue over the last couple years, they have not finished the season healthy.
Right.
They've always got to the point in district play late where injuries started to pile up. If they can find their way through non-district and get into those big district games with Gina, with Bunky, with Buckeye, and they're healthy, don't count out the Tigers. Tigers expect big things on offense this year. Okay?
Right.
Cool?
Yep.
And then we go to Gina. All right? What felt like it could be a rebuild year last year? We thought Gina's rebuilding. And they just find their way into the semifinals.
Right.
The experience that comes back from that team, the entire offensive line returns, and their top 2,000-yard rushers return in the backfield. They do have 7 to replace on defense, but Gina and the experience they've got coming back, what we thought was a rebuild last year, you better watch out for the Giants in this year. And then Bunky. Production no longer there. Who steps up is the big question. Zion Lee has MVP quality all over him. Will he get out of this district as the MVP? Bunky, the entire defensive line graduated, and majority of the offensive line graduated. So trenches will be something that we're all looking at early in this scrimmage, in this jamboree, in these first couple weeks. How will the new guys up front? If those guys come and play their tails off and adapt early, Bunky could be right back in the fold, but the question marks are up front right now.
Correct.
My thoughts on 2-3A.
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree with it.
Thoughts?
Good.
We're all good with it?
Yeah.
All right, my thoughts on 5-3A. We start with St. Martinville. New coach comes in, Gary Creamer, came from Lafayette High, so he's coached in a big-time district. So that experience that he's bringing over from that big 5A district is going to help this team tremendous because he's been in those battles with Acadiana and Karen Crow and Southside. So he can come into this 3A district and bring a lot of knowledge to this St. Martinville team that's loaded with athletes. And it's just like one of those teams where they're waiting to take off with a rocket. Looking forward to seeing what happens. Kaplan, a lot of question marks are around the program right now. So we will have to see how things play out, but They just hired head coach John Thompson. He comes from the Vermilion Catholic coaching tree. You hired a great coach, but it's just so late into the process. Is it too late? That's my question. Abbeville, you got year 2 from Coach Jonathan Zenon, and you got Coach Fusilier stepping in as the OC. He's arrived and sparked a big-time off-season for the guys. It feels like Abbeville believes again, and it feels like Abbeville's ready to see a different color jersey because those guys are chomping at the bit and expect them to put up a lot of points this year. I want to see what the defense does. I know the offense is going to be good, so I'm curious to see what the defense looks like when we get these scrimmages and jamborees underway. And then ERAF, senior quarterback Jack Landry is back. That's big. When you have a veteran like himself back to lead this Bobcat team. They have a big roster, 95 on the roster in 3A football. My goodness. But what is life beyond Mason Hebert, the Mr. Do-It-All, number 3? The guy led the team in tackles, broke ERAF records. He was a Swiss Army knife, did it all. What's life beyond him? But I know Coach Eric LeBlanc has the guys ready to roll, so going to be interesting.
Man, I just can't believe you got 90-something players on a 3A football team.
It happens.
That is amazing.
I mean, that's getting the school to buy in.
Yeah.
Like,
That is
if
amazing.
you think about it, you have, what, on a 3A roster, you 40, 45?
If you hit 50, you're pretty good.
70.
Between
Hey,
50 and
some
60.
40,
We got to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you got that many on 3A.
if you're lucky.
The school, you got, what, 400 kids?
Give or take.
Wow.
Here's my thoughts on 4-3A. We start back in as the head football coach there. So what will familiarity look like for the program, knowing a face that they've seen in the past jump back in to lead the Bulldogs? So curious to see what happens for Ville Platte. Pine Prairie second-year head football coach Lance Myers. You laid the foundation down a year ago. Now you just take another step as a program here in year 2. Go get some confidence, get those guys out of the hallways, and start to build your program the way you want it to be. Crawley, also another second-year coach, and Coach Eric Cooley. I saw an improved team a year ago, but here's the million-dollar question: what's life without Floyd Flugents?
Right.
What a playmaker he was, and can he be replaced? He had so much production for the Gents a year ago, so time will tell. We will see him in the Jamboree, so I'm curious to see what happens there. Mamu, talented backfield. They got some workhorses there that's going to have a big season, but when death creates itself, you got to stay healthy because they got a really good, solid group, but the health will matter for their success here in 2025. Could this be the year that Mamu takes that extra step? Time will be determined, but the offseason has been incredible, so you got a lot of people buzzing.
Did they make the playoffs last year, first year, Coach Lamb?
I don't think so, no. And then Church Point. Here's what I said about Church Point. Expect them to be right back in the mix for a title this year. They're improved, they were young, and they're hungry. Coach Rob Poole will have Church Point right back in the mix. Iota, new quarterback, huge senior class exits, but it's always a team, no matter who steps on the field, that will play hard for all 48 minutes. So even though they have a senior class that exits, don't expect the Bulldogs to just bow down. Those young guys will play hard for 48 minutes, so anybody in this district is going to get their best. So that's what I love about that program. No matter if it's freshman, sophomore, all the way to the seniors. They're a program that plays hard all 48 minutes. And then Northwest, you do have some guys to replace. We talked to Coach yesterday. He said lost 8 on defense, but you got some guys plugged in, ready to go. New quarterback coming into the system this year. Excited to see what Chavis brings to the table. 3 new starters up front. Get that game experience. I'm curious to see how they gel together as a group. And then you go to where the horse. Kevon is back, and Kevon looks better than ever. He should have an incredible season. Could be looking at the district MVP. Good district.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, concerns, questions?
No, you pretty much hit it.
Good?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right. We go back to 6-3A, fellas. Here's some questions for you. Ready, Chris?
Listen.
How important is non-district slate for these teams to make up for the rest of the district, knowing that you may not get many PowerPoints from these schools that could have down years? The big 3, how important is non-district slate?
It is.
You have to look at
get
where I'm coming from?
You have to
though?
look at their schedules.
Yeah, you get where I'm coming
Yeah,
from?
yeah, yeah.
though?
You have to look at their schedules, and I don't think ULAB going to schedule any scrub.
Oh no.
Neither Madison Prep. Neither Parkview Baptist.
Yeah,
So they just got to go out there and win the games.
yeah.
You know, or compete. If let's say for instance, ULAB and Catholic Baptist play each other.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
I knew that's why I said that. And they lose the game. So they know they're gonna get points on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because of the competition.
So they're not worried about that.
Yeah, so that was the question. Do you feel like it's important for them to make up the PowerPoints they lose in district? Because the
Yeah.
district is weak
Yeah.
besides
Yeah.
the 3.
Yeah. I mean, you know, just winning those games, you know, against Catholic, against whoever else they played, they scheduled.
Rumble.
So yeah,
Ramen.
Rumble. You know, so they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be fine.
Gary, what about yourself? What's your thoughts whenever it comes down to you see it? Yeah, we're top heavy,
Yeah.
but a lot of these teams may knock us out of a first round bye or
Right.
knock us out of a host site.
When you have a district that's split like this, where you have the powerful and then not so powerful, well, you have to play those teams there. But so you have to go out and you have to get some teams that are really, you know, going to give you the opportunity to gain those power points. You laugh. Yes, they play Cadillac of Baton Rouge. I'm sorry, Cadillac of Baton Rouge. You walk on the field with them before the game starts, you gain points. You know that's they got to do that, and you know I see that. Like he said, ULAB, Madison Prep, and Parkview are all going to do that. They're going to schedule some teams that are going to, you know, give them the opportunity to gain points in position, and that's something that they have to do.
You think it's a make-up ground?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, losing points, power points for playing your district games is a realistic thing. It happens in a lot of districts. So you have to schedule those big games. And when you're these teams, especially ULAB and Madison Prep, who every year they expect to win a state championship.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing that, you know you have to prepare yourself for somebody you're going to see in the quarter, semis, state championship in your non-district, because your district's probably not going to give it to you outside of a game or two. So it's very important, and those teams do it the right way.
ULAB coached by Coach Andy Martin, Madison Prep coached by Coach Landry Williams, Parkview Baptist coached by Devin Ducote, Port Allen by Antoine Washington. That's going to be quite a race. And
You're right.
if you're Port Allen, you flip the question right there, don't you, Alex? And you say, I'm getting big power points from my own district.
Yeah, so you stack wins early in the year because you know you're going to play tough teams, so you want to get those wins and the power points for playing tough teams.
Port Allen went into the playoffs, upset Church Point in the round 1 because they were battle tested.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So, question number 2. It's a big one, and you might all agree. I'll say it's big. I over-exaggerate sometimes. Could we see a non-district champion out of this group win the state championship?
Out of that district?
Is Madison Prep and ULAB playing the same division?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Parkview Baptist.
I'll say no. I think whoever wins the district has the best shot of winning the whole thing.
It all depends on what side of the bracket they're on.
That'd be something, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be cool to if you have a district title game and then you have a state title game between the two also, and you go beat them in like
It
the
happens.
OHS Cecilia
Well,
thing.
yeah. Well, we've seen that happen before, and and it's all that. If you get ULAB and Prep or Parkview on one side of the bracket,
But that division is loaded.
I
So
don't think Portview's in that same division.
okay.
You can find
Or
out.
even just if it's those two, if they meet up in the playoffs, the district champ might end up getting beat by the district runner-up, and then they go in on and win the state championship. I mean, that's possible in this district.
I don't know
especially
many-
with those two teams.
I don't know many people who would want to say no to seeing ULAB and Prep play in the state championship
Oh,
after
my-
seeing them play in the
My
district.
Right.
friend JB with Shaw,
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But that would
which
make
is
for a good
listening
game.
right now.
Yeah.
That would make for a
Hello,
good game.
Hey JB, we got you.
Oh man! All right, how about this? You got 3 heavy hitters here. You think this district's going to be split or potential a 3-way share,
No.
or you think it's going to be an outright champion?
Outright champion.
Alright.
And we don't need your predictions right now, but
But I'm
you
just
think outright?
outright. I think it'll be between Prep and ULAB.
It's possible, but I'll be honest with you, I don't see it happen. I think the winner of that game will probably be the district champion outright.
Mm-hmm.
Alex,
Yeah, no, it's going to be outright.
I figured this. Chris,
What's that?
I think they're in Division 1.
ULAB
Parkview.
Parkview Baptist.
Select.
Let me see. Dragging it on. Or they just didn't make the playoffs last year. That's why I'm not seeing them.
Well, the thing about it, ULAB didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Not sure.
Google
But
that.
anyway,
Well, if they didn't make the playoffs, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
yeah.
Hey, new coach,
Yeah.
new vision. All right, next question. Which game are you looking forward to the most?
In this
Mm-hmm.
class, this district, I mean,
1-2.
ULAB Madison Prep.
Yeah, that's it.
Sure, it ain't here.
Yeah.
Helix and Collegiate.
No,
No.
Madison Prep, ULAB.
that to me that would be.
And listen,
that's-
it's no knock to Helix and Collegiate, but
I bet we can have some fun streaming it.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, probably can get
you're right.
The boys will put on a show if we show up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Parkview took advantage of a. Oh. Okay, so they were in the 3A, Division 3. Why are we looking at them as a big school?
No, you was.
You're right. I do that sometimes. Okay, yeah. Parkview Baptist Division 3 Select. They lost in the second round to Dunham.
Okay.
I'm over here thinking they're a 5A school or a
Mhm.
4A bracket, and they're 3A.
And we talking about 3A.
We're talking about
And
Tree.
we're talking about 3. It throws you a loop because these other teams play in Division 2, but I
Well,
forget
and so what's-
everybody's split.
That and Madison Prep and ULAB plays against 4 and 5A schools.
Yeah, yeah.
That out of district. So
But, and that's automatic. You look at them all the
so
time.
we
They
just
always
figured
line
that.
up.
Bam.
Yeah.
Did it.
All right. Same
Yes,
game you're looking forward to?
same one.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Biggest storyline that comes from this district. What is it?
ULAB bouncing back, and like you said, they got a bitter taste in their mouth from last year.
Take what they've left.
Yeah, couldn't get in the playoffs and all that other stuff, but from what I've gathered, they were supposed to be the best team in the state last year in that class. So See how they do this year. But Madison Prep gonna have something to say about it.
Garrett, biggest storyline that comes from this district.
Okay, can ULab bounce back from last year? But also, can Madison Prep overcome the hype of ULab?
So can Madison Prep clip them in the season?
Yes.
Yeah, for ULab, there was an asterisk for that division last year. Whoever won the state championship there's an asterisk for them for ULab.
Turn the TV off, JB.
for ULab, and ULab's mine. So not only is ULab gonna come for the district championship again, they want to get that asterisk off of it and put the the state champion that they think should have been last year.
Well, we just got clipped.
Uh-oh.
All of y'all just saw that clip.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But you get clipped all the time.
I love it.
I get clipped. I'm in
Content.
hiding for 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get clipped. I'm hiding for 5 days. My biggest storyline will be, we know that the district title game is probably Madison Prep ULab. My biggest storyline is, I hope they are not on the same side of the bracket.
Yeah.
I want to see if they can meet in the dome. That's my biggest storyline. Will be, will the district title game have a rematch in the dome?
What schools play in that division?
Shaw, E.D. White,
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy, ULab, Madison Prep. I'm drawing a blank about the rest.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
E.D. White, Shaw, JFK speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, let me
They
tell you
all speak for
something.
themselves.
That's
St.
that's gonna
Charles.
be that's gonna be crazy. I mean, as far as competition wise,
Yeah.
once playoff starts.
Any final words as we close out 6-3A district?
No,
No.
not for me.
Look out.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. 3-3A will be our next district we talk about. Jennings, Lake Charles College Prep, Westlake, South Bow, St. Louis. All right, Alex, you have the honors. Put the helmet on. Who you think's going to win the district title?
He's like, no, I ain't putting that on.
All right, let's go. First question. This district here feels like it's underrated in 3A with the offensive production it produces year in and year out. Agree or disagree?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me about this district and the offensive production it brings, because it feels like it's underrated with some of these other 3As really feel like they're over them, but this district has crazy offensive numbers week in and week out.
South Bowl, bring your hard hat and your lunch pail.
Mm-hmm.
Westlake, I think Westlake is like,
They'll win games however they need to win games.
yeah, and
If they need to put up 50, they will. If they need to grind out a 10-7 game, they will.
and that's and last year I think I'm not speaking bamboozled about the Westlake, because they was putting up points,
No.
but when they got to the district
Let's
play
finish this district.
against Jennings, Lake Charles Prep, and thing, it wound it down. It showed who was the big dogs of the
Right.
district. Jennings, man, listen, they gonna bring a great group of kids. They gonna play sound defense. They gonna run the ball down your throat. Can you stop it? Continue playing good defense.
And with the offense Jennings runs, you wouldn't think they would average what they average
Right.
on the scoreboard.
Right. Lake Charles Prep, man, they got athletes over there.
They welcome the track meets.
Right, and they were young. The previous 2 seasons, they were young. They got an old lineman. He's 6'4", 6'5" right now. He didn't play last year. I think he tore his ACL or something. But he's back. Their running back is real fast, shifty, real good. Quarterback, he was young, and now he got that experience behind him. And Coach Pipe, he believe in throwing the ball. The RPO. They're going to play good sound defense. They're going to play fast. They're going to have athletes. So this district, you know, every week is someone. St. Louis, you know, eager to see what they're going to bring back to the table after the, you know, last season. You hired a first-year coach, didn't work out. Then this, another coach. So, you know, but I think the cream of the crop at the top of the district is Lake Charles Prep and Jennings.
Gary, do you feel like this district is underrated in 3A with how much offensive production we see week in and week out?
Yes, I think that the offenses are just, they're smoking, they're kicking. It's just, my opinion on that is that which defense will wake up and slow the other teams down. Can Jennings slow down Prep? Can Prep slow down Jennings? Can Westlake, you know, score and then slow down, you know, Jennings and Prep and Savo? And, you know, it's just which defense is going to show up and control the other team. That's going to be the big question in this district. You know, the defense has to control the other team because the teams have offense. These teams have a lot of offense on them.
Yeah, and you looked at this district late last year. Jennings started punching some shutouts.
Yeah, they did.
So their defense really rose when it came to those games and the district play.
Correct.
Your thoughts about the offensive production we see in this district?
Yeah, I think it's underrated, and for a reason is there's all different types of offense in this district.
A lot of varieties.
Yeah.
So when you have different types of ball being played on the offensive side, and you're still putting up numbers every week, and all the teams are doing it, it says something about this district of how they can put up numbers in different ways.
Okay. How crucial will offensive line play in order to determine who wins this district?
Oh, heavy. You know what they do. What each team do on offense. You know, Jennings, they gonna line up under the center. You know, sometimes, or they will get a shotgun. But you know when they line up under the center, they gonna run the ball. You know, Prep not gonna line up under the center, but they still will run the ball. You know, from out of the shotgun.
Mm-hmm. And then you got South Bow going up tempo.
Right.
Snapping at 5 to 10 seconds.
Right. So, and each team keeping a healthy running back. You know, so O-line, listen, any high school football game is all about the trenches. Mm-hmm. If you got good trenches, you will be successful. Here.
Gary, it starts and ends up front.
That line, whether you're in a spread, whether you're in a veer, whether you're in whatever offense you're going to have, it's the line that controls it. They're going to be the ones that are either going to protect the quarterback, block and get the holes open, do whatever they have to do. Everything is controlled by the line of scrimmage. That's it.
The question was, does it matter? Correct.
How
critical?
crucial
Okay.
will offensive line play be in order to determine who wins this district?
For me, I think it's most crucial for Jennings because Jennings is going to try to hit you downhill. You know, for Lake Charles Prep and Westlake, if you have struggles on the offensive line, there's ways around it with the athletes. Bubble screens, tunnel screens. There's things that you can do where you don't have to hold up, you know, in protection. You don't have to go get 5-6 yards of carry. So in my eyes, it's important. But if Jennings doesn't have a good offensive line, it's probably going to be a long year. But if some of these other teams don't have a great offensive line, they can work around it because of their style of play and the athletes they have on the field.
Okay. What little things will determine who wins this district? When it all said and done, when you look back, what little things had to happen?
Injury free.
Stay injury free.
Consistency.
To stay consistency every week.
I think focus.
Locked in.
Yeah, you have to. You look at a couple of these games last year, and Westlake, you know, had some games that they could have won. They were controlling the game.
Didn't they lose like 3 games by 1 point last year?
And
like that.
I have a friend that's very close to the program. He's like, you have 1 or 2 drives, just like no, everybody's lost. And if they would have focused in for those 1 or 2 drives, it could have been a totally different outcome. Same thing for Lake Charles Prep. They're doing good, and then one or two plays just sets them back. And I saw that on film last year.
Like a pre-snap penalty type
Yes,
of deal.
it's one or two things of not focusing gets them behind. And with Jennings is one of those schools that the other schools that play them, they can't make mistakes because Jennings is going to capitalize on them. But also Jennings, if they do so many things on the offensive side of the ball, if you're not focused, penalties, fumbles, bad things can happen because there's so much going on. So that's what I see in this district is focus, game in and game out.
And Jennings don't give up. They keep fighting. They keep scratching. Like we had them down, and the game was over with pretty much. They still was coming. Like so with that, when you have that mentality, you being coached right, first of all, and secondly, the desire for you to win a game, even though you can't win and it's outreach, you still playing hard. That's kudos to the coaching staff.
Coaches for this district: Jennings, Brett Fusilier, LCCP, Eric Franklin, Westlake, John Richardson, South Bow, Brad Kellogg, and St. Louis, Chris Truax. Good luck. Should be a fun district race. Could see this one go down to the final week.
Mm-hmm.
Could see it. Which game are you looking forward to the most?
Prep and Jennings.
Prep Jennings. Garrett?
I'd probably say that's for
That's the final week.
That's going to be the final week, and I think that's going to be for the tie.
I want to see Prep and Westlake.
Prep and Jennings play week 10.
I'm not sure.
You said the final week.
I didn't say
You
that.
said
Oh,
the final
I
week.
thought I was about to make a call.
I don't
Go
think.
ahead.
No, I don't think. I don't
I
think
was
it's
like,
the final
I
week.
said, I can't-
No,
I
I
can't
don't
do
think it's
that.
the final week. I think it's week 7 or week 8 they play each other.
I was fixing to make some phone calls. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to see Prep and Westlake. I want to see two similar styles of play and see what kind of jump Westlake made compared to last year.
Okay. The Jennings Lake Charles College Prep game that was so hyped up a year ago really turned ugly quick when Jennings blew them out.
Mm-hmm.
Could we see that one hyped up again and see a different ball game, or will we see similar game? That will be intriguing there. So I'm gonna go Jennings LCCP. Also, I just hope for our sake, because I'm sure both schools have different opinions, but I hope that one's hyped up and it lives up to the hype this year.
I think Prep's going to have a bone to pick, with them.
Biggest storyline that comes out of this district. What you got?
St. Louis, man. Like,
How much improvement?
yeah, and how quick they gonna react to
Right.
another coach the next year.
Right.
You got two
So this senior class has seen 3 head coaches in their
last
senior
3.
year,
Yeah, yeah,
in their 4 years.
yeah,
Okay, so the mentality aspect.
yeah.
Right.
Gary, biggest storyline.
Can Prep improve and get, advance and get further than what they did last year? I think Prep has the tools, and I think they're, honestly, between me and y'all, I think they're probably the team to beat. So, can they advance?
Did Jennings lose too much to remain the king of this district?
Okay, good one. I'm gonna go with, and it's just opinion related. I'm gonna go with if Westlake has a good non-district run, can they go and steal the district title?
That'll be interesting.
That's how important their non-district slate will be to build confidence going in, because you need a lot of confidence to knock off these 2 heavy hitters right here.
That's right.
You're right.
So if you're playing your best ball, could you go win it? I may be way off there, but how they say that? If you're playing with confidence, it fuels a lot of things in life.
That's right.
All right. Final words as we close this district out.
Man, listen, you're gonna get 3 of these teams probably make the playoffs. 4 of them make the playoffs.
So that'd be good.
One playoff. Well, they both play up. Lake Charles Prep plays in Select,
Division 2 select.
and
There were another team I forgot to mention a while ago.
and Jennings play in Division 2 non-select.
Yeah.
Uh,
Westlake is
South
in
Bow plays in Division 2 non-select.
Westlake and is in Division 3,
Yeah.
and then St. Louis is in Division 3.
Right. So, the out of district schedules gonna help them get into where they need to be at in the playoffs.
Gary, final words as this we wrap up this district.
It's going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be a dogfight. The top 3 teams, I think, are going to be really rocking. So let's see where it goes.
Alex, final words.
Wide open district.
Be some fun battles, some fun games to pick when we get here on these Wednesday nights. By that time, it would be cool weather, good food, and we should be in October, wouldn't we?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's when district play starts off.
Yeah.
Unless you're in one of them 9-team districts.
Sure, yeah. Unless you kicking off week 2 in district play.
That's
All right, let's go 2-3A with Bunkie, Gina, Marksville, Buckeye, Caldwell Parish, Valdelia. Bunkie wins the district a year ago. Gina wins the district a year prior to that. It's been Gina's district for a very long time. Bunkie, new kids on the block. What will year 3 look like? Do we have a surprise team that jumps both of them in Marksville? Does Buckeye go and spoil some parties? Will Bunkie and Gina battle it out for the title again in week 8? To be determined. Your initial thoughts, my friend? I already got that, didn't I?
Gina, Bunkie,
I already did the
Marksville.
initial thoughts. We get all 6 in the playoffs.
Nope.
You giving me 5?
Nope.
I'd
4.
say 4.
4.
4.
We're comfortable with 4 right now?
Comfortable with
3
that.
and a possible.
3 and impossible?
Say they-
Yeah.
Buckeye, and I
find-
agree,
they
and I
find a
agree
way.
with you what you said about Buckeye because I like.
If you overlook them, they'll clip you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to watch them. So I'd say 4.
Yeah,
or like
4.
Alex says, 3 with a possibility. But as I said, but I'd say 4 comfortably.
Still to this day, Gina Bunkie is the greatest atmosphere we've ever called a football game in, Gary. How about
Yes.
these schools and what they bring to the table to create big-time atmospheres?
Oh, geez. Gina and Bunkie, their atmosphere, their support is so up here. I mean, it's amazing to see high school support like they have at those 2 teams, at those 2 schools. It's amazing, and like I said, I just say those 2 are probably the 2 of the top as far as fan support in the state.
Marksville, Buckeye, Caldwell Parish, those small towns really show up on Friday nights. Bunkie and Gina is different. Talk to me about we're still in the 3A level where they say the last one in town shut the lights off.
Yeah.
We're going to the game. Talk to me about those type of teams.
Those environments, it's like, okay, so I drive a truck for a living. That's my profession, and I try not to get caught on the road on Friday nights, but some Thursday nights I catch high school games on Thursday nights. For an example, you guys were covering Bazille one Thursday night. I passed through Bazille, dude.
Ghost Town.
The store was closed, and that store never closed. It stays open 24 hours. It never closed. It was closed, and it's like the street lights even get cut off. I don't know, for some odd reason, the town be dark and you just see that big glow
At the stadium.
of the stadium. So communities like that look forward to Friday nights. So you're gonna get them going to the game, packing the stands out, tailgating, doing everything that you're supposed to do at a football game, enjoying it, whether the team win or lose. whether they're good or bad, they're still going to show up. They could be 0-10. Guess what? Those bleachers, you'll never know the team is 0-10. They're going to show up.
Yeah. There.
That's what it's about. Coming up, I mean, back where, I'm Port Barry alum and everything like that. That was what we did on Friday nights. Whether you were at home, if you were at home, you were at the stadium. Wherever you go away, 90% of us were heading to wherever we were playing. So that's what small towns do. I mean, that tells you how important these schools are to that town. They are there wholeheartedly, no matter what. So that's what it's at. The towns are the schools are so important to the towns.
Alex?
Yeah, like I said earlier, you still have these small towns, but with a lot more people in them, or these schools are pulling from surrounding a town that has a lot more numbers. So you just get great atmospheres in 3A, and it's no different for any of these teams in the district.
You got great coaches in this district. Bunkie, coached by Jimmy Hillman. Gina by Jay Rourke. You got Marksville by Josh Harper. Buckeye, Aaron York. And Caldwell Parish, I couldn't find if it was a new guy or same guy in Vidalia. I don't know much about yet. But great coaches in this district. 2 of them saw the semifinals a year ago. Could we see another competitive year for this District 2-3A race?
Yes.
I think it's a 3-man race now. Bunkie lost a lot. And Gina's been proven year in and year out, staying consistent. Marksville has always just been itching up there to compete.
It's been the injuries that's taken them out.
Yeah, and if injuries don't take Marksville out, I think they compete for the district too. So, and like Alex said, man, Buckeye they Buckeye. They gonna hit you in the eye. They're gonna try to compete.
Yeah, don't overlook them.
But Gina and Bunkie, and I'm leaning more towards Gina.
Collision course.
Yeah, that's week 10, right?
8.
We find us a week 10 matchup with each other. I'm gonna find one. I know one.
Gary Swallow.
We'll talk about it in a few.
Competitive year, competitive race, or do you think it just all comes down to week 8?
My heart says that I want it to be competitive. My head tells me it's going to be Bunkie and Gina again.
I think.
You think it's wrapped up week 8, or you think it's wrapped up week 10?
It's to be determined for me because I don't think the gap is as big anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bunkie and Gina and Marksville are kind of on the same playing field. I think those games are going to be a lot closer, and who's going to have just enough to come out on top. So to me, I think this is a lot more competitive than it's been the last couple of years, and I honestly don't know who's going to win it.
Okay. That's going to be a fun week 0.
You're right.
All right, let's think about this question.
Okay.
We're going to go through each team here. And you might not know much about Vidalia or Caldwell Parish, but I still need you to answer.
I passed through Vidalia yesterday. That's all I know about it.
I know the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which position on these respected football teams is the key to success for each team in this district race? We start with yourself. Go through the list, or do you want me to just go?
Bunkie.
Which position you think is the key to success for them here in this district race?
Quarterback play.
Brand new quarterback coming in, so we will see what happens. How will life after Dylan Compton look? Okay, Gina. You got all of the offensive line back. You got
And
both 1,000-yard rushers back.
That.
What's the key to success in your opinion?
Special teams.
Special teams
Because they're returning everybody
for
back.
Gina.
A
lot of returners. Marksville, key to success. What is it?
Healthy. Stay healthy.
Okay.
Like, listen, if Marksville can put it together, and Marksville has a rich tradition of always
Really good quarterback right now.
Yeah, and doing things in the playoffs. And it's a bed pool full of athletes. You know, and they trying to put it together. It's just something always knocking them off. Well, the past year was, like you say, it was injuries. You know, so Marksville would just be injuries, and let's see what they can put together.
Buckeye,
I have no idea.
give me a position.
Defense.
Okay, linebackers.
Yeah,
How do the linebackers play?
yeah.
Caldwell Parrish.
Because the linebackers, you gotta, stop.
You got to stop some talented running backs in this.
Yeah, in Caldwell Parish, man, that's a consolidated school, so they should have the athletes going there.
Receiver play.
Yeah.
Okay, Vidalia.
I don't know much about Vidalia. I didn't think they had a football team, actually. I thought
So
everybody was
belief.
going. Yeah, I think everybody thought everybody was going to Faraday.
So belief in the program.
Yeah.
Gary Bunky, position key to success in this district.
Okay, like he said, quarterback play, but that's important. You got to be able to control everything and make it flow.
Especially with a brand new starter.
Yeah, with a brand new
Gina?
starter. Gina, I think their offense is going to be great. Their defense is going to be the question mark to me. Can they stop?
7 new guys.
Yes. Can they stop what they? I think they're going to be able to score. Pretty easy especially with that two-headed monster they got in the back. But I mean, so I think that's going to be the key on that is their defense. Will it come up? Marksville, staying healthy. To me, they got to stay healthy and compete because they had some key injuries. But that's going to be the one. For me, is staying healthy. Buckeye, defensive play. They can run. They were able to score at will, pretty much, but they couldn't stop nobody.
Okay.
They need to stop them. Caldwell Parish, I have no idea. I'll be honest with you. I hate to say it this way.
Say special teams.
Special teams, that's fine.
Vidalia?
Vidalia, I don't know anything about them, so I just think they just need to focus and put everything together and just believe in themselves.
Alex, same list.
Bunky, I'm going to say
Key to success.
defensive line.
Defensive line, brand new group.
Yeah.
Graduated everybody.
If they're going to win that Gina game, they're going to have to stop them backs.
Like that.
Gina, I'm going to stay on the defensive side with this too. I want to say DBs for Gina.
Okay.
Bunky's going to test them with the athletes they have. Marksville, I want to see what the quarterback's going to do for Marksville. Buckeye, it's going to be, for me, it's their entire defense. Because we know what, like we said, we know what we can do on offense. Defensively, will they be able to make the changes and make the improvements that they need? Caldwell, everything starts with offensive line for me. So if Caldwell can have an offensive line, push some people around, that's a part of the state that has some big guys. So if they have an offensive line that can push people around, you can give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
Vidalia, I have no clue. I have no clue. I have no idea, what they have, what they don't have, but, same thing. I'm going to say the same thing as Caldwell. If they have an offensive line, they give themselves a shot.
Okay. Bunky, I'm going to go to Feed the Beast. Zion Lee at the running back position. Gina, I'm going to go with how well do they, whenever you got the returning backs, right? I'm going to go, who's that receiver that really steps up whenever the boxes get loaded in a game? So I think one of those receivers will be a key to success. Marksville, it starts at the quarterback position. The guy is talented. So how far they will go will determine on his play. Buckeye, always great running backs that come through the program, but it starts up front, has to have a good offensive line. Caldwell Parish, I think they're going to have to be good on defense to be successful here in this district. And Vidalia, I think you have to improve on all three phases. So let's go with special teams. All right. Game you're looking forward to the most, Chris?
Actually, Bunky Marksville.
Week 10?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got that one.
Mm-hmm.
On a Thursday night.
In Bunky.
Y'all should come eat. You play on a Thursday?
Week 10? I won't be here. I'm gonna be in Big Hawaii.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
You playing a Thursday?
Only got 2 Thursday night games.
Well, come eat.
Yeah.
Why, boy? You living it up,
Honeymoon, baby.
Gary.
I hate to say it, but Bunky Gina. I want to see what's going to happen with those two.
Part 3.
Yeah, part 3. I
Yeah,
want
same Bunky Jr.
Yeah, but Virginia. Biggest storyline that comes from this district, my friend.
Bunky. Seeing how they're gonna bounce back after.
The production that's
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
Fill the gaps.
Right.
Can Marksville make a run and take down the 2 big boys? That's the key.
Can you slay the 2
Can
giants?
you slay the 2 giants?
Alex?
I already said. Bunky Jr.
No, the biggest storyline.
Oh, okay. My bad. Lost you. Yeah, I want to see what Marksville does. Can they bridge the gap?
Okay. Biggest storyline will be, and y'all stay with me here. Experience versus new faces. When they clash week 8, what will happen? By that point, Bunky will have their feet under him. The new faces will have the game reps. But Gina is coming back with guys that have played a lot of ball in their career. So experience meets new faces. I don't know. We straight, look.
It was close
Hey, we back.
1%.
All right. Going on to the next district.
Yeah. We just got to talk a little louder, guys.
Remember, it was a last second show, so I couldn't charge all that, Chris. Give me some slack.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
5-3-A. ERAF. Abbeville, Kaplan, St. Marville. Shouldn't take long here. We only got 14.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Coached by Eric LeBlanc for ERAF. A lot of years with the Bobcats. He's been there. So familiarity is key. Abbeville, year 2 under Jonathan Zenon. What will year 2 look like? Can they take that extra step? Kaplan, John Thompson, taking over late into the process, but you love that you get someone with his knowledge and experience that if anybody can pull it together, it's him. St. Martinville gets Coach Garrett Kramer in at St. Martinville. Year 1, the high expectations awaits. With only 3 district games, how important is home field advantage with less teams? The room for error is very short. How important is, with only 3 district games, is getting those home games?
You got 3 teams that's pretty much 15 miles away from each other.
Yeah, they're
On the same highway,
pretty much.
Highway 14.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure all those kids are familiar with each other. Man, it's gonna be Abbeville is gonna battle this year. They're gonna rise to the occasion from last year. I think Coach Zenon, with him coming in there as the first year head coach, those guys buying in. If you look at the games from last year, yeah, they were probably getting blown out, but towards the end of the season, you could see, the gap. Probably losing by 14 instead of 34.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a sign of they're buying in, and there's progress, but you gotta trust the process. So ERAB, it's just been the cream of the crop of that district for a long time. Them and Kaplan back and forth. So I'm eager to see what St. Martinville do too with a new head coach coming in with athletes, and with his system and them buying in. So, but 3 district games, the out of district conference games, playing a lot of them. So.
Gary, How important is home field advantage when you only have 3 district games?
I think it's very important, and you know,
You
especially
might get 2 of those 3 at home,
yeah,
You might have no.
and you might be all
Yeah.
3 on the road.
yeah. I think it's very important if you can get that. But you got for this district. I mean, they're like he said. Everybody knows everybody. I mean, they're so close to each other. I think it's going to be very interesting. But home field advantage gives you that little. I guess you'd call it a little upper hand, a little niche.
Like we got to cover the ERAF Kaplan game last year,
Right.
and that was nuts for
Mhm.
that home field advantage.
Right. So crazy, but I think it's important.
We've covered Abbeville Kaplan a couple times for the Russo Trophy, and
Right.
you remember those home field advantages.
That was some amazing games.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's super important because, like we've talked about,
The room for error is very small.
that too. But these are 4 towns that are going to shut it down to go to the game,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they're playing one of these district opponents.
Right.
So home field advantage can make or break your season in terms of district.
Expectations from year 1 coaches. Kaplan, St. Martinville. Expectations for year 1 coaches.
They're both year 1, but let's look at the time frame. Say Martinville coach came in.
He's got a summer under his belt.
In the spring, I think.
Kaplan's got a week under his belt.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, you gotta, they should pay him extra if you do have a successful
If you can
season.
pull something off,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a successful season,
He's got the bodies in the locker room.
listen,
You know Kaplan plays hard.
yeah, and that's one thing about Kaplan. They're gonna, the rich tradition of Kaplan and the community is small, like you said. That's all they have on Friday nights. So, you my neighbor, my son plays, and coach quit or get fired, however it is, he don't want to play. Hey, I'm not making my son play if he don't want to play. You can just, that's how the relationships
Yeah.
are. Hey man, let's go out there. This you playing for your community.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So Friday night lights, it makes a person get up.
Garrett, expectations from year 1 coaches, different starting periods.
Well, if you're anything like I'm familiar with and all this, no matter if it's your first week, your first year, whatever, all of these communities and these schools are going to want to win. They're going to try to do their best to win. Now, you got St. Martinville, that you have a coach that has been there for the spring and the summer, and then in Kaplan, you got a coach that's been there, like you said, a week or 2 or something like that, not very long.
Still learning where the parking spot is.
Right, but you just because they're new to this, they're not new to coaching. They are experienced coaches, so they'll have the opportunity. It's just how fast will their players, come together and buy into their system. That's the most important thing. But I think as far as expectations, both schools, they want to win. So they're going to be expected to win. Simple as that.
Expectations for year 1 coaches in this district, knowing the timelines that have emerged.
I think for St. Martinville, the expectation is to flip last season.
Oh, definitely.
Is to flip it because they have the pieces.
Yeah,
Just
too
to-
much talent not to go make a big run.
Exactly. They have the pieces just to get it to that point. Kaplan, man, I could say their expectations are the same as last year in terms of the players. The coach probably saying the same thing, hey, y'all did it last year, we're going to change up a couple things and we'll do it again. So I don't know if the expectations drop off much just because they're first year coaches at that program.
Okay. This district feels like it will be decided final week because of how close it is. Agree or disagree?
Oh, yeah.
Agree.
Most definitely. Yes.
Yeah, it could. It's just like I said earlier, it's wide open. So it could be decided at the end or it could be decided pretty early, just depending on how the schedule lines up. But I think it's wide open. So like I said, it could go down to the end.
Game you're looking forward to the most, Chris?
Kaplan and Erath. I still think Kaplan, even with a new coach, I still think, they have what it takes to compete for the district.
Garrett, game you looking forward to the most?
Man, I won't lie to you. I think that Russo Trophy game, I like that. The atmosphere around that is just so good. I mean, you're going for something. Abbeville Kaplan. I honestly think that the winner of that game right there will probably be in contention with Erath for the championship. That's my opinion.
I want to see St. Martinville and Abbeville.
Okay. I'm going with Erath, St. Martinville. I think that one decides the district title. And it's going to be senior night at Erath.
Cool.
So, I mean, that's going to be some big fireworks there.
Yeah, buddy.
Biggest storyline you got, Chris, coming out of this district?
I think we all got the same storyline. Kaplan,
Yes.
I think with the fire, did he resign or did he fire? They fired him.
It's not our story to tell.
I don't know.
Well, without a coach and school getting ready to start and the season started, so with a new head coach coming in right now,
Will you still win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gary, your biggest storyline.
Which of the two first-year coaches can excel? Basically, it's not just Kaplan, but it's the first St. Martinville and Kaplan. Which of those two can do it?
Biggest storyline?
Can St. Martinville reestablish himself at the top?
Biggest storyline for myself would be does Erath repeat, or do we have a split? Is that possible?
Yeah, that's possible.
Could we have a split in a 14
With 4
district?
teams.
Y'all do the math.
I don't know if we can, huh?
I'm not that smart or intelligent, so y'all do the math.
It's possible, but not probable.
No.
No, you can't. Not with 4 teams.
Okay, so there goes that storyline. Will Erath repeat with the amount of talent, depth, and the quarterback coming back? That's my storyline.
That's good.
4-3A, Northwest Iota, Church Point, Mamou, Crawley, Pine Prairie, Ville, Platte. Raiders coached by Chris Edwards. Bulldog coached by Ray O'Grant. Church Point coached by Rob Poole. Mamou coached by LaQuinta Lamb. Crawley coached by Eric Cooley. Pine Prairie coached by Lance Myers. And Ville Platte coached by Roy Siri. Chris, new quarterbacks come into this district. Who do you think could have a big year?
The quarterback with the better athletes.
I think we have like 4 or 5 brand new quarterbacks that come into this district.
You got to look at what each team is bringing back. Don't know much about Iowa and what they're bringing back, but West is bringing back a lot, especially in the receiver core, and they're gonna help the young quarterback, make his reads, see where he got to go to. I mean, and you're so athletic across the board at receiver position. So the error for mistake for him, if the ball is thrown too high, you got 6'2", 6'1" that can jump, guys that can go up and get the ball and make a play for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I like what they're doing and what they have.
So, new quarterbacks, you think Northwest's quarterback could have a big year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of what he have around.
Gary?
I agree with what he said, what Chris said. I'm not familiar with all of the quarterbacks and how young they are, But if whichever team can get comfortable with their surroundings and have the support of their team, whether it's the line, whether it's the wide receivers, or whatever it is, it's just to have whichever one will adapt and not panic. That's the key. So it's whichever quarterback that's new is gonna just basically get comfortable with the people around.
It's about reps.
Yeah, reps more and more.
Alex?
Yeah, I have to say it's Northwest quarterback, but for different reasons. You look at this teams, and Iota's going to throw it, but Northwest is probably going to be the team that throws it the most out of any of these teams. Church Point run heavy, Crowley run heavy, Mamu run heavy, Bill Patton Pine run. So I think by default a little bit, Northwest has the best chance of their quarterback having the biggest numbers.
Okay. I would go Northwest because of the surrounding pieces. I mean, you can't hide 6'3", 6'3", 6'2", 6'1" out on the perimeters. So I'm gonna go Northwest. All right. So with a lot of run-heavy offenses in this district, it creates some great running back plays. Always got some bulls. Northwest got a big-time prospect in the state of Louisiana. Iota's gonna have a tough-nosed kid. Mamu's got the backfield that's gonna put up some big numbers this year. Crawley always has a special talent. And then Ville Platte, Pine Prairie, don't know what they bringing back, but we're still gonna respect them anyway. The running back rooms for these 7 teams could be a special year.
And that's a big district, 17 single district games. But yeah, what Coach Lamb gonna bring to the table with his wing T offense, and you're gonna run the ball. Mm-hmm. And in order for you to run the ball, you gotta have a special back. You gotta be tough, hard nosed. You know what I'm saying? So, and Iota the same with Iota. Sometimes they'll get out there, they'll throw the ball every now and again, but they're gonna run the ball. Try to control the game, slow the game down, whatever. Church Point, listen, they believe in their trenches. Mm-hmm. They believe in the weight room. So if you believe in your weight room, you believe in the trenches, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna run the ball. And they're gonna keep a good 2-man rotation back there. And then you got Northwest. I mean, all Kevon Johnson did was just run for over 1,000 yards every year since he touched the football field in high school, and maybe more. When Coach Edwards get that lead, you can bet your bottom dollar he gonna run the ball with Kevon and try to slow the game down, which as a coach should do. But he can hit you out the backfield too. He can catch the ball. He can do everything. So I think those teams there, it's gonna be a lot of games where the game's gonna be over with in 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Depending on the style of play.
Yeah. Got a lot of great running backs that will represent this district, Gary.
Yeah, you looking at, I think Northwest got great running back right there at Northwest. Church Point, corn-fed boys. They are some strong boys in the trenches, and they got some strong runners all the time. Iota, I think is gonna be strong. Mamu, I'm interested to see what they have. I've heard nothing but good things about those boys out there. Not too familiar with Crowley. Pine Prairie, I know Mikey's running. I think he's running the Veer, and I think he's a good coach. I'm gonna tell you right now. I think he's gonna get those boys ready. Bill Platt, not familiar with them.
More throw heavy.
Yeah, Bill Platt, I think is like you said, they're gonna be throwing the ball a little bit more, but I think this is gonna be a lot of running backs in this district that are gonna be shining. I think, but I still think.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Only 3 get represented at the all district meeting for first team, right?
Probably, I think. I'm not sure.
2 or 1 or
well,
one.
You can put as many as you want, but
right to make first team is saying that's gonna be a tough.
That's gonna
it's gonna be a tough top 2 to crack
and
this year.
And normally they go based off of who has the most yards.
Stuff.
So.
Well, you're going to have quite a few to choose from this year that will represent the top 2, top 3, top 5, however many they do it.
They may have one.
Alex?
Yeah, this is a district
They
that
may have 5,000.
you look up almost every year at the end of the year, and you have great backs. You know, Iota, Church Point, Northwest. You know, Mamu's gonna have some good ones. Crowley, every year you just like, man, you see a good running back every game, and it makes your defense have to be tougher and play harder, and especially playing, you know, wing team and beer teams, you have to, you know, read your keys. So it makes the level of play defensively go up with all these good running backs in this district.
You look at this. This district, and you know you got some big time playmakers that will represent it. And you know Church Point and Mamu's gonna have a few guys that tote the rock this year. You look at Iota, always a dynamic guy in the backfield. Northwest, we talked about the depth last night, but you can't ignore the prospect that is in the backfield. What will Crawley do past Floyd Flugents? Curious to see who's the next back in line. Pine Prairie running the veer, so you know a lot of guys will tote the rock on for them. And Bill Platt probably will see more pass heavy this year. But excited to see the tailbacks and the seasons they have. One of y'all made a comment saying that you could have a combined 5,000 yards between this district here, between all the backs.
Maybe more.
Which is exciting to see.
Probably more.
When the game seems like it's trending away to the spread, no huddle offenses, you have a district like this that is still represented to that old school feel.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you see this one a potential shared district title or a three-way split?
Wasn't it like that last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago? Northwest won last year? Week 10?
Yep.
Week 10?
What you thinking? You thinking it could be a split,
Oh.
outright, or a share? Because we've seen shares in this district before.
You know, the Week 10 matchup, I wouldn't always. They just got to handle their business, you know,
To get to that point.
point. Now, if one of them slip up and take a loss, let's say Church Point pop on, or Mamu pop on, okay? Let's say Church Point pop Northwest, Mamu pop our, okay?
Which could happen,
Which could happen.
or it could be the vice versa.
Right.
You don't know what's going to happen
Right.
this year.
But I think this district goes down to Week 10. Whether Northwest lose a game or I would lose a game, but I still see Church Point in the mix somewhere. And Mamu can make some noise if, you know.
They're wrenching everybody's plans.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But I still see those 4 teams making the playoffs.
Oh, I agree.
What was the question? Oh yeah, three-way split, shared title, or outright, Gary?
With these 4 teams at the top, I'll be honest with you, I think it's going to probably be a split or a share, whatever you want to call it, because each one of these teams can do it. My personal feeling and my gut is if it's a split, it's going to probably be, you know, it's going to probably be, I won't lie, probably Northwest and Iota in that Week 10 matchup. But if not, I think Northwest has the ability to take it all. They just got to say like Chris, take care of your business.
Outright?
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Anything else would be uncivil.
Yeah. I'm all for the drama.
Yeah.
I love good drama to talk about on Wednesday nights, where we could potentially see a three-way share. So I want drama.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I want drama, Gary, like 2 years ago. So
But I mean, and
we'll see what happens.
And listen, it's probably, you know,
I don't see. I can see a share, you know, but not a 3-way split. No, I
Happened
couldn't
2
see
years
that.
ago.
It just happened, but guess what? I don't see that this
And I
year.
see, and you know, I see Coach Lamb and
Only because I like drama.
Coach Lamb and Coach Edwards in the chat,
Yeah.
and this and that, you know, watching. You know, listen, there's no disrespect to any of you guys. We just putting out scenarios.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
what,
it.
what we say now won't matter come week 8
Nah, it's really not. You know what I'm
because
saying?
all 7 of these teams will be different teams by that point.
Right.
And we will have different
Right.
perspectives and different opinions
And-
by
and-
that point.
And each week things change because of the results of that week. You know, I mean, you might have
And what they did the previous.
right, and then you got to look at injuries and everything like so. Each week is a
Who-
different scenario.
Who gets hot
Yes,
Right.
at the right time?
that's right.
That's it. What small details win this district?
Oh.
You can't borrow the ones you used earlier.
As in,
So it's a district that's built up front that looks like what a lot of teams like to run the ball. You go to the realms of front sevens will have to be the small details that win this district. Or something in the other nature like special teams is something that will decide a close game.
I think it's more defense because week in and week out, you gotta still line up and stop these teams.
Still gotta stop the run.
You still gotta stop the run.
Still gotta have the guys in the back end to stop the pass.
Right. So, listen, I know. Listen, all these coaches don't have their kids ready to play, you know. But any team, the defense is really what catapults you to win a game and a championship.
Defense wins championships.
You know, because at the end of the day, they ain't gotta score. We can score, but I need you to stop me from scoring. You know what I'm saying? I score a touchdown.
And sometimes you see some of these defenses in this district,
Mhm.
they're going to get scooping scores. They're going to get
Pick six.
pick sixes to even increase their chances to win.
Even special teams and kick returns. So that's a big factor.
So that when you say the small details that matter in this district, you can point yourself to all 3 phases matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Gary, you got any small details that's going to decide this district?
Special teams, kicking. I've seen great games in a loss because of an extra point, a missed extra point, or something to that effect. I think. Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it is. If you got a good special teams and a good kicker that can give you that extra point and it'd be a 7 instead of a 6, I think that you have a better shot. So I think special teams, especially in that aspect of it, because how many teams that we've ever watched that have a great offense, but they have no kickers? You know, that's important that you have that. You got to have those little things. So I think that part is very important to these guys.
I think kicking is a lost art.
I know it's something that you know, man. If you have a soccer team, go get a soccer kicker,
But
and you bring
that's
that
not
stuff on
necessarily
there.
a soccer. And I wouldn't. I saw it. It's not necessarily a soccer player can kick a daggone.
Well, I know, but it's an art that you gotta have, and that could be the difference between a championship and not.
Okay, so we got special teams for yourself.
Mhm.
Will decide this district. Sir,
Offensive line play.
offensive line play.
We talked about it earlier with the amount of running backs and the good running backs. You give them a lane, you give them an inch, it's gone. So offensive line play is going to matter in this district.
Okay. What you went with?
Defense.
You went with the defense? I'm gonna go to those big time matchups where you get late into those games when we'll see which coaches really stand up. How's that?
Experience.
That's fine? Because you're going to see a lot of big time matchups, and when the game gets good late, which coaches will prevail?
Right. Oh,
Like a
I
chess
agree
match.
with you.
Yep. Good old chess match. Most intriguing game this year. Who is it?
Yeah, I will say week 10 Northwest Iowa, but my move Northwest.
Week 8. Garrett?
I was thinking the same thing. I want to see what Northwest and Mamou's going to do.
That's at home.
And Mama.
Northwest Church Point.
Northwest Church Point live on the LHSAA network. Welcome to the big leagues.
Thank
At Church Point?
At Northwest. Or,
Yeah,
at Northwest.
Northwest.
Yeah, I was going. I was going to cover the game
Something happened.
until they came knocking.
Yeah.
Cut the chicken.
You cooking them something good, ain't you?
I have no.
They heard about your good cooking.
That's what it is.
They heard about your good cooking.
Cooking for
Said,
UTL only. I got bigger fish to
we
fry.
heard about your good cooking. We're coming to experience it. That's gonna be a good game though for sure.
Yeah, should be.
Northwest Church Point, always a banger. I'm going Northwest Mamu week 8. If I see both teams where they are by that point of the season, you very well could see the winner of that game being the leader of the district race with 2 weeks to play.
Right.
So that's what I'm going with.
And that's why the week 10 matchup between Northwest and Iowa is meaningful, because it could probably, the winner probably won't even win the district. Somebody else probably could win the district.
You could win it for somebody, or you could be a share that night,
Yeah.
or you could be an outright that night.
With that many teams in the district.
Biggest storyline that comes from this district is
The quarterback play for Northwest, they lost Jaden Chavis. They're getting the little brother, Justin Chavis. But he's throwing to some targets. You know, that's the storyline for me. You know, keep on will be keep on. You know what I'm saying? Reggie gonna be Reggie. Marquez gonna be Marquez, the athlete that he is. You know, but that play right there, you know, and Church Point, man, Church Point just, they solid every year, you know, so.
Gary, give me a storyline.
Oh God, basically the storyline that I think is, can anybody stop Northwest? You know, I think right now, they're all close, but can anybody stop Northwest? I think Northwest is probably the best team in that district.
Is Mamu in year 2 under Coach Lamb ready to take over the district?
Okay. Storyline for myself will be, is the loss of the big senior class for Iota too much to overcome? Is Mamu ready to take that next step? Is Church Point ready to get back into title contention? Is Northwest loaded beyond just a district title? And I have one more. We will see. My vote at the moment would be Kevon wins the MVP. Will somebody else prove me wrong? Not
That's
full?
pretty good. That's good.
So we'll see. Final words as we close this district out.
Like we said at the beginning of the show, 3A football is exciting. You get these small communities. Actually, you get some of these 3A schools in big cities. You know, but how the zoning played, that's a community. But the excitement for that, you know, every week is a must-win situation, and you know your opponents, you know your team, the opponent team,